So this is the update on my acrylic patio tank. I don't know how much has changed since the last video. I did take out some of the driftwood here as well, just to sort of lighten it up a bit. Just like the other tank, I want to release a lot of the tannins that's just progressively making everything seem so yellow. More spacious now, a lot more better water flow. It's pretty hard to see with the glare of the sun. I did have plants embedded in the water in this tank. It has a plywood tank as well, but those guys over there just tore their roots up in that tank. So lucky for me, these guys are not a big size yet, so they're not out here scavenging the roots and tearing them to bits. These roots are all intact, and if I'm lucky, they won't eat the roots on this tank. And these guys would grow out pretty well to give me the look I'm trying to achieve. But so far so good in this tank with the plants. They stay pretty well fed, so most of these fish have gained size tremendously. I bought all of these fish actually at 1 inch, and some of these guys easily 4 inches, 4.5 possibly, maybe 5. It's amazing how fast some of these grew. I just can't wait to get most of these fish at their full size potential. Yeah, these white guys, boy, and these white Africans. The character these guys are, boy. They're everywhere all the time. Eventually, and what I'm hoping will happen is that these Frantosas, once they max their size out, you know, they'll hold the ground a little better, because most of these fish won't reach the size of the Frantosas well, except for the blue dolphins maybe. Well, we can't see too well with the glare there. Buddy, come on out. I got 2 of them. I don't know where the other one is. They're a bit shy. The only thing I did different in this filter setup was I added, well, I had to redo the DIY bio wheel that I made. The last prototype that I made sort of fell apart, and it was then that I decided to use actual sponge material to make the wheel, and I haven't had a problem since. I did move some of the plants down here as well. I had them on the right side over here, but as the roots, some of the plants will die, you know, for whatever reason, and some of the roots fall off. So the problem I was having was the roots were making it into the impeller there, so I decided to keep them all on this side, and with this sponge wall here, everything's sort of trapped in here. This is the dirtier part of the sump anyway, so hopefully, well, it looks to me like the plants are doing very well. They're sprouting upright, plenty of sunlight, and they got all the water they need with nutrients. So this was the newer bio wheel that I made. It's totally encased in sponge, wrapped all the way around, and then I did the outer layer with a gutter guard, and the centerpiece that's rotating is a a plastic red hanger that I cut and just use as a shaft. Rubber bands are encased in the inner part of the shaft to act as bearings, and it's working pretty well. Down here I decided to add another carbon tray since like I said, I have so much of it, and not that I really need it, but it's just collecting dust, so I might as well use it for something. That's the only modifications I made to this. Otherwise everything here is everything's running really well. There's no reason to fix anything here. So I did put an output line on this for my water changes. And let's see if we get a look at that. Same type of setup with the 1200. I put a bigger output line instead of the smaller one. I had CPVC. I went with a 1-inch now, and basically when I do a water change, these plants that are out here are all fed the water. Let's see if we can get out there. So whenever I do a water change, what ends up happening is the water taps out into each one of these plants, and I put a ball valve on them so that, you know, the lowest part of the gravity is not feeding most of these plants, and the little ones on the higher rise here are not getting enough. So with a ball valve, they control that they're all getting water evenly, and they're doing pretty well. It was the same idea I had with the 1200 plywood setup. When it comes out of here, each one of these plants are given water, and since I reduced this all the way to a 1/2 inch, and this has a long way to stretch, to make sure that all plants get watered evenly, I put a ball valve on each one, making this one then will open up all the way, since it has to travel so far, and come all the way down here and come over here. So everything worked out well, and as for this little guy here, I just made a slight pinhole right here, and the water will drain and it makes its way into this roots here. So just a way to recycle the water. Works out pretty well. And that's pretty much it to my aquarium patio tank out here. I'm just waiting for these fish to gain some size here, which they're starting to do, especially the Frantos. I'm really excited about them. There's 15 of them here, so I'm just very, very, very excited. Let's see these guys grow out. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'll try to reply you right away. You guys take care. Thanks for watching.